Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Mariah. Today's topic is sleep apnea. This is a research video. This video is going to be a lengthy one. I know someone who deals with sleep apnea. Like my other topics, I believe this one is a very important topic to cover. For the research in this video, I used one article to gather information for this topic. The link to this article will be in the video description box. If you're interested to know more after you've watched, I've linked my social media accounts in the video description box. If you like or enjoy my content, I would appreciate if you would share, like, subscribe, and leave a comment or any suggestion you have below. You can support my channel by becoming a patron. A link to my Patreon will be posted in the comment section below. Thanks a lot. Now let's get into today's topic. The article that I used was titled Sleep Apnea from the Sleep Foundation website. What is sleep apnea? Sleep apnea is a sleeping-related breathing disorder, a group of sleep disorders categorized by abnormal breathing patterns during sleep. People with sleep apnea repeatedly have reductions or pauses in breathing for brief periods when they sleep. Although these lapses can cause a person to awaken periodically and reduce sleep quality, sleepers may not wake up or remain unaware that their nighttime breathing is abnormal. There are several types of sleep apnea categorized by the cause of breathing disruptions. Obstructive sleep apnea. Obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA, occurs when the airway at the back of the throat becomes constricted or blocked during sleep, which may cause snoring as air is prevented from passing through normally. In response to the airway obstruction, a person usually wakes up, engages the muscles in their throat, and takes several gasps or deep breaths, often accompanied by sounds like snorting or choking. Obstructive sleep apnea is the most common type of sleep apnea. It's estimated to affect 10% to 30% of adults in the United States, but in many cases goes undiagnosed. Central sleep apnea, CSA, involves disruption in the communication between the brain and the muscles that control breathing. As a result, breathing may become shallower and have temporary pauses. The prevalence of central sleep apnea is low compared to obstructive sleep apnea. It is estimated that less than 1% of people have CSA. Symptoms of sleep apnea. Sleep apnea includes the effects of abnormal nighttime breathing as well as daytime effects of reduced sleep quality. Symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea. Frequent symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea include excessive daytime sleepiness, loud snoring that often penetrates by gasping or choking sounds, headaches in the morning that persists for several hours after waking up, dry mouth upon awakening, restless sleeping with periods of wakefulness during the night, increased need to get up from bed to urinate, irritability or frustration, reduced focus. Certain symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea may not be immediately noticeable to the person with this condition. For example, abnormal breathing and snoring may only come to a person's attention after they are observed by a bed partner. Symptoms of central sleep apnea. The symptoms that most often associated with central sleep apnea include abnormal breathing patterns such as breathing that slows down, speeds up, and pauses during sleep, excessive daytime sleepiness, nighttime awakenings, sudden shortness of breath or chest pains at night, difficulty focusing, morning headaches. As with obstructive sleep apnea, it is normal for people with central sleep apnea to be unaware of their irregular breathing during sleep unless they are pointed out by a bed partner or caregiver. Causes of sleep apnea. The cause of breathing disruptions differ between obstructive sleep apnea and central sleep apnea. Causes of obstructive sleep apnea. In people with obstructive sleep apnea, the muscles in the back of the throat relax during sleep, reduce space for airway to pass through. Snoring occurs as the airway narrows and the airway obstructed. And when the airway is obstructed, a person fails to get enough oxygen. The lack of oxygen causes partial or complete awakenings in order to restore airflow. These breathing disruptions happen repeatedly during sleep. Causes of central sleep apnea. Central sleep apnea arises because of problems in how the brain communicates with the muscles responsible for breathing. For people with CSA, a part of the brain called the brainstem fails to properly recognize carbon dioxide levels in the body during sleep. This leads to repeated episodes of breathing that is slower and shallower than it should be. Risk factors for sleep apnea. Risk factors for obstructive sleep apnea. The primary risk factors for obstructive sleep apnea are related to age, sex, body weight, and certain sorry if I said this wrong. I think it's anatomical features of the head and the neck area. So the risk factors for OSA or obstructive sleep apnea are age, sex, head and neck anatomy, I think it's how you say it, I'm sorry, body weight, cigarette smoking, hormone abnormalities, sleeping position, family history of sleep apnea, nasal congestion, use of alcohol and some medication, and certain medical conditions. Risk factors of central sleep apnea. Central sleep apnea most often occurs as a sequence of other medical problems, such as an infection or an injury affecting the brain stem, heart or kidney failure, stroke, or excessive growth hormone productions. Studies have indicated some additional factors that are linked to heightened risk of central sleep apnea. We have age, sex, certain use of drugs, and being at a high altitude. How is sleep apnea diagnosed? We have health history and physical exam. And then we have sleep study. Treatments of sleep apnea. We have positive airway pressure, which is PAP therapy, is a treatment offered to almost all people with obstructive sleep apnea. We have PAP therapy keeps the airway open with pressurized air that is pumped from a machine through a hose and a mask worn on the face. And we have the common type of PAP therapy uses a continuous positive airway pressure or CPAP device that sends a stream of air that is always set to the same pressure level. Treatment of central sleep apnea. Treatment for central sleep apnea often focuses on addressing the medical issue causing abnormal breathing. If sleep disruptions are mild, treatment for the underlying cause may be all that is required. Complications for sleep apnea. Sleep apnea reduces sleep quality and the effects of poor sleeping are compounded by how sleep apnea affects oxygen levels in the body. Accordingly, obstructive sleep apnea has been associated with higher risk of diverse range of health problems. Below are some including we have car accidents from drowsy driving, cardiovascular diseases like high blood pressure, stroke, heart failure, heart disease, and an abnormal heartbeat. We have metabolic disorders including type 2 diabetes. In central sleep apnea, the complications that occur depend largely on the underlying medical conditions causing breathing being disordered. Sleep apnea in children. Although frequently associated with older adults, sleep apnea can occur in children. In young people, sleep apnea is more common than obstructive sleep apnea is more common than central sleep apnea. It is estimated that 1 to 5% of children have obstructive sleep apnea. Children with OSA may not experience excessive daytime sleepiness as seen in adults with sleep apnea. Instead, they may experience daytime symptoms like hyperactivity, learning difficulties, and behavioral problems. As adults, snoring is common for children with obstructive sleep apnea. However, children may have other nighttime symptoms like sweating, bedwetting, and sleepwalking. Children with severe untreated OSA may also experience problems with their growth and development. Many children with obstructive sleep apnea is caused by enlarged tonsils or adenoids in the throat, and surgery to remove these tissues may be an option for treatment. Living with sleep apnea. Practical steps can help people living with sleep apnea to cope with the condition and their potential health effects. Work closely with a doctor. Properly care for treatment devices. Avoid high-risk activities. Consider changing sleep positions. Minimizing alcohol consumption. Informing new doctors about sleep apnea. I hope this video helps someone. As you may know, I have problems with pronunciation, which is because of my learning disability, which I am dyslexic on top of, and also have other disabilities. But I don't try to hide this because I want people who have similar struggles to know that they aren't alone. No matter how hard pronouncing some words can be, I will always try my best. Those are the reasons I leave my mistakes in the video. Sorry if you kept seeing me come in and out of the camera on my phone. As I was reading my notes, I noticed that I would shift in and out of focus. I'm sorry. But even if you don't watch the video, you do listen. Just listen to if actually you're any family member, just listen to the points that you made. Anything that you think you heard as a risk factor, and if you think you need to get checked out, maybe do that. Or anyone of your family member, maybe suggest that to them. As always, I'm open to any suggestions you have for any future video topics. Please let me know what they are in the comment section below or on my Twitter page, and my Twitter handle is @BurleyMariah, and I can spell it for you. My last name is spelled BURLEY, and my first name is spelled MARIH. The next video will be on being discriminated against in a support group, which will be available on my Patreon on Wednesday, March 8th at 6 p.m. EST, and on my YouTube channel on Saturday, March 11th, 6 p.m. at EST. Hope everyone's continuing to stay safe. I will post my notes in the comment section for anyone who needs them. Again, please like, share, and subscribe if you found this video to be helpful. Feel free to share this video with anyone you think might benefit from watching it. If you want to be notified when I do any live streams or upload any new content, you should click the bell icon and select the all options under the bell icon. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Bye!